We're following a developing story for you out of Hitterdal, Minnesota. 5 divers from Valley Water Rescue were searching a pond today in Hitterdal for more evidence in the murder of Troy Yarbrough of Wahpeton. Yarbrough was murdered in May after being hit over the head with a yard rake handle, an axe, and a cinder block. And then his body was burned and his remains were put in a garbage bag and buried. 39-year-old Jason Jensen and 34-year-old Kayla Westcott are charged with aiding and abetting in Yarbrough's murder. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was the only reporter at the search today and joins us live to tell us more about what divers were looking for. Bailey.
Thanks, Andrea. The search started this morning a little after 9 in a pond about a quarter-mile away from the farmstead where Troy Yarbrough was murdered in May. I was told the Valley Water Rescue team found a piece of evidence last week in the pond that investigators didn't know they were missing. The dive team came back today with 5 divers and 2 metal detectors looking for something about the size of a cell phone. However, after almost 5 hours in the water, divers came up empty-handed. I'm told unless there is new information, there won't be any more searches in the coming weeks. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Bailey. Jason Jensen and Kayla Westcott are scheduled to be in court again early next month. Right now, they are being held on $1 million bond each. Now on to some breaking news out of West Fargo. A man is in jail after he allegedly pointed a handgun at another man during a fight this afternoon. Trace William Adams of West Fargo was booked for terrorizing, which is a Class B felony. Police say they were called to a disturbance near 8th Street West and 2nd Avenue. When they got there, the victim said Adams pulled a gun on him and then drove off. Adams was later arrested without incident. The handgun was found and taken into evidence. Lisbon police need your help finding these 4 people. The department posted this surveillance video to its Facebook page. Take a look. Around 4:30 this morning, 3 men and a woman were caught on camera knocking a couple trash cans over in Lisbon. Police say no damage was done, but they are treating this as vandalism because of the way the report was made. If you know who these people are, you're asked to call the Lisbon Police Department at 701-683-4141. Hot and humid weather is taking over the region, and along with that, a risk of severe weather. Let's find out who has the most risk and when. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea, and good evening, everybody. Yes, it could be another stormy night, especially if you live from the Red River Valley points off to the east into our Minnesota counties. Red River Valley under a marginal risk of severe weather with a slight risk off to the east. We are mainly quiet as of right now. We are just seeing mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies with just some isolated thunderstorms around as you make your way, say, from Grafton Point south and between Hallock and Alvarado, and getting to the Roseau and War Road area, some isolated showers and storms that we are expecting and waiting for the possibility of a tornado watch being issued from the Red River Valley into our Minnesota counties over the next, say, half hour to an hour. Temperatures look like this. We are really hot out there into the Southern Valley. Low 90s across, say, Fargo, Fergus Falls. We are a little cooler up toward the Devil's Lake Basin, out toward Bemidji, lower 80s, but it's very humid across the entire viewing area with dew points now into the low to mid 70s, which should serve as fuel for any storms that do develop. Fargo has the best chance of some storms over the next couple of hours before the chance for severe weather moves into portions of northwestern Minnesota. Temperatures warm tonight, 90s falling into the 80s. We'll give you a complete look at what to expect tonight and for the rest of the week into this weekend coming up later in the newscast. Now, let's send it out to Hutch Johnson, who's at the Cashwise Backyard Bar.
Thank you, Justin. I got to tell you, it is very humid out here. A nice hot day, but we are in the shade of this South Fargo home of Cindy Knowles. Cindy, where'd you sign up to win the backyard barbecue?
The Fargo Cashwise.
Very good. Now, you got a whole deck full out here. Who'd you invite?
Friends, family, neighbors.
All right. Everybody hungry? Yeah. All right. Yeah. And we'll hope for a little bit of a cool down after the system works its way through. Coming up here in a bit, we'll check back in and tell you how the steaks are doing with our friends from Cashwise. But for now, we'll toss it back into the studio.
All right. Thank you, Hutch. Bail has been set at $500,000 for a Minnesota woman accused in the murder of a 2-month-old girl. 30-year-old Sarah Cortan of Red Lake Falls is being charged with second-degree murder. A judge set bail at $500,000. The Red Lake County Sheriff's Office says the baby's death was the result of injuries from a physical assault that happened at Cortan's home in Red Lake Falls June 20th of this year. An autopsy showed that the injuries the child suffered were from inflicted trauma. Cortan's next court date is set for August 14th. The Walsh County Sheriff's Office is warning of a high-risk sex offender moving to the area. 42-year-old Jason Allen Brown is a white man, about 6'2", weighs about 225 pounds. Brown now lives in Park River, North Dakota. Court documents state that back in 1994, Brown engaged in sex with a 14-year-old female friend. And then in 1998, Brown was charged with solicitation of a minor girl on 3 occasions, resulting in a pregnancy. A teacher from Alexander, North Dakota, is facing drug and child endangerment charges. Science teacher Reggie Hill was charged in February after McKenzie County Sheriff's deputies said they found drug-related items in reach of Hill's children at her home. Hill resigned from her teaching position in March. Under Hill's deal with prosecutors, the criminal charges against her will be dismissed if she stays out of trouble for the next 1.5 years, submits to random drug testing, and surrenders her state teaching license to avoid trial. We have a warning tonight for anyone with a lake home in Otter Tail County. The Sheriff's Department there says prowlers are coming onto private property from the lake and snooping around sheds and outbuildings. There have been reports of it happening on Dead Lake near Richville during the early morning hours. Authorities say the prowlers may be using a canoe or small boat to approach property. At this time, nothing has been reported stolen. Sheriff's deputies want people in that area to report any suspicious activity. And tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW and Valley News Live at 10, we speak with neighbors about that ongoing threat. A woman was taken to a hospital, a Fargo hospital, after she hit an SUV, rolled her truck, and then tried to run from troopers. Authorities say it happened yesterday afternoon near Walker, Minnesota. 35-year-old Cinda Plenty Wounds of Brainerd rear-ended an SUV and kept going. A trooper saw what happened and tried to pull her over. Plenty Wounds took off and lost control of her truck before rolling. She was injured but is expected to be okay. Troopers say alcohol was involved in the crash. It is still under investigation. A 40-foot-long RV known as the Breast Express is traveling across the country, providing resources and support for breastfeeding mothers. The nursing and pumping suite on wheels stopped in Minnesota today. The company behind the bus is Pump Spotting. It's known for its app that connects nursing moms to one another. Founder Amy Van Haren decided to take the app on tour.
I was a breastfeeding mom, and I was also working and traveling. So I was pumping in airports and in bathroom stalls, and I was feeling really alone, but the one thing that made me feel better was talking to other moms.
The Breast Express continues on its journey, with its next stop being Wichita, Kansas tomorrow. The United Way kicked off its 20th annual school supply drive today in Fargo. Students from about 65 local schools in the FM area will receive backpacks and other school supplies to prepare them for the upcoming year. Horizon Middle School counselor, a counselor there, says she believes this event gives kids the confidence to take on the school year.
It brings joy to me, and I know many others, to imagine students popping their filled backpacks onto their backs and confidently strolling, in some cases dashing, into their school buildings to start the year strong, proud, confident, and ready to take on the year.
Officials say last year, over 5,000 local K-12 students were equipped with backpacks and school supplies thanks to the United Way School Supply Drive. You can donate supplies until July 27th. To find out where you need to drop off donations and the exact school supplies needed, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Mosquito relief is on the way in Grand Forks and East Grand Forks. Citywide spraying is set for tonight. East Grand Forks will spray from 8 p.m. until midnight, and Grand Forks from 9:30 p.m. to midnight. You are urged to take precautions to avoid being bitten by mosquitoes, since West Nile virus has been identified in that area. Deep fried candy bars, corn dogs, cotton candy. The food at the Red River Valley Fair is what a lot of people look forward to. And this year, it looks like you're covered. From fan favorites like mini donuts and cheese curds to deep fried Snickers bars and loaded pulled pork nachos. However, the fair is expanding the options even more this year, making sure everyone can enjoy a meal while they're having fun.
You know, there's a lot of different options. We do have a guy that does the vegan and vegetarian and, you wouldn't think of it, but salads, which are really good, out at the fair on top of like your normal corn dogs or cheese curds or French fries or, stuff like that. So outside of the normal stuff, there's some new stuff or interesting stuff out here to try.
The fair runs until Sunday, July 15th.